Growing up empowered, human digital enhancement, and I can, I choose, and I accomplish. I'm Marc Prensky. So we come to that last piece. I can, I choose, I accomplish, and we accomplish. And how do we do that? Because that's not something we do now. I think a far better way to bring up young people is for them to find what they believe, to find their unique value, to find new connections and 21st century powers. That's important for them to do, especially at the beginning, but then apply those things while they're still young to accomplishment with positive impact in the world, into meaningful work that creates value and adds value to humanity. That's what young people want to do, and as a result of that, they realize their own positive dreams, which so many times today get stamped on and don't get realized. And they do it for themselves, for their families, for their country, for their world. So what I mean by accomplishment is students doing real-world projects, not academic projects, not school projects, real-world projects that have a measurable, visible, positive impact. If you have a school in a particular area, you'd like to see that area getting better because of what the students are doing. Not all of them working on that, but that certainly should be a result. The world should be getting better. Kids were all doing these kind of projects. They'd be realizing their dreams, fixing the problems they see, and helping others. This has nothing to do with what's called project-based learning. There's a thing called PBL in the world. No, that are all academic projects. And we're talking real world fixing and improving and making that real world better. It happens at all ages. This is already happening all over the world. You can start as young as 3 years old. You can do it through secondary and high school and through university and college. It can happen in all sorts of categories, like helping others, improving the world, helping your peers, assisting government, adding to the world's knowledge, and all those United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, those 17 goals, which you've probably all heard about, which for me are really nothing but a big list of our generation's epic fails. We don't have enough clean water. We don't have enough air. We need to do projects that fix these things. And the ultimate goal, in my view, is we want to be the place where employers and others come to know they can find people who know how to get things done, people who have accomplished, because that's how we all brought them up. So how do we get there? Well, I think the way is we sail on the SS Future. And we create something that I formed a generic name for called empowerment hubs. They're places, whether they're in schools or online or in other buildings on the weekends, where young people go and they accomplish project after project after project. And this exists in the world. There are thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of these projects that have been done in countries all over the world. Here are some very specific recommendations. We need to maximize the use of this technology by all the students every day for everything that they do. And especially do it through the mobile phones, because that is what they have. That's what's going to be used for the rest of their lives. It's a freedom. They now can take the world's information and connections, and it's portable. And again, if they need to pass tests, there's test preparation software. We need to focus them on realizing dreams and fixing problems and helping others. We need to figure out things that humans, especially young humans, have never been able to do before. What kinds of things are those? They are mostly connect with others around the world. Find the people around the world who share your interests, the affinity groups around the world. Accomplish things in the real world. make a measurable positive impact on everything that you do. Right now we think about scores, we think about grades. No, what's your impact? Show me the impact that you've made, and the way we do that is you say, see that was bad or it didn't exist, and now because of what we did, look at how much better it is. It's visible. And finally, make sure that all the young people, as they grow up, can accomplish, can get things done in the world, that realize their dreams, that fix the problems we see, that help others. Sky, what do you think? Is that what young people want in the world?
I think so, yeah. I think everyone, wants to make an impact in the world somehow. We all want to make the world a better place, I hope.
Have you done any of these real-world impacting projects in school?
In school, not so much. I don't think the last one I can remember is like planting in a garden in my school, but that's not that big of a scope.
And what grade were you in when you made a garden?
Maybe like 7th grade.
Okay, middle school. Okay, what about outside of school?
I think outside of school it's a lot easier because you can kind of explore what your passions are and similar. So I know that me and my friends, some of us were part of a group called Surf Rider, which is about ocean ecology. So we do beach cleanups and similar. So we talk about that, so yeah.
Any other kinds of projects that you'd personally like to do?
I just think projects that I'm interested in and that I can think make an impact.
For example, what might that be?
Maybe we're starting to do like water sampling in Surf Rider, so sampling water and making sure that animals have healthy environments to live in.
Good. And I know you're into flying because I'm your dad. I know that he flies small airplanes. This is not something that we're used to. So we need help. Where can we get help? What resources do we have? Well, there are databases of the thousands of projects that have been done. Many of them are documented in video. You can see the huge variety of projects that young people have done all over the world. This Design for Change, you can take a picture of the URLs. Design for Change exists in 65 countries. I made a database of what I called Better Their World projects. I've got 100 projects in there of all different kinds, and that you can find on your mobile phone or online. And then there are books, and I've written some of them, but I'm not the only one who writes books, and some of these books are online and they're free. So, Sky, tell us a little bit about your experience. Now, Sky goes to what is academically the best public high school in California. It's ranked #1, and all the colleges know that. Sky, what was your experience like there? What did you think of high school?
I thought that school was, I don't know, to describe it, a lot of my friends, we would go to school and be very stressed out just because of the levels of academic achievement that they expected. A lot of the time, it's constantly, if you're not studying and you're not getting the best test scores, what are you doing? People will make fun of you and things like that. And I think it was a little not so great just because it's focusing on things that, you personally don't really care about that much, but are kind of forced into you. A lot of the stuff that I learned, I can't tell you a lot of the stuff that I learned just because I don't really care about it and I don't remember it. But I think that overall, it's a good experience because it allows you to connect with a lot of people, young people. But I do think that maybe some of it can be tailored better to the person.
What would you like to see more of and less of?
I think more of just kind of being able to explore and, like you said, like projects and stuff like that, things that you care about. Just because a lot of what you learn is not going to be applicable to you when you go out and get a job. And they have all this. You go to high school so that you can get into a good college, and then from there you have to choose your career. And then when you get into your career, you have to get training on your career. And I feel like that just takes a really, really long time. And there's a lot more potential that you can do when you're in school when you're young, because you have all this time that you're learning things that you don't really care about. But I think if you try to apply yourself to things that you really care about, like projects, then that can do better.
Thank you. So here are the things that I want you to remember. The first is that we're moving from the age of education to the age of empowerment. And in that age, what makes us unique are the personal projects that we choose to do. It's not how you look, it's not what you wear, it's not even what you think, it's what you do that makes you a unique person in the world. And what empowers us is doing those things and knowing that if there is something we want to do, we can do it. The goal is to bring our kids into this new world so that they have a better ability to improve their own lives and world. In order to help them succeed in their future, not our future, we all need the right things, which I talked about before. We are enhancing our humanity. Not everybody looks at it that way yet, but that in the long term is what is going on. We have a new job, which is not to just teach the old curriculum in different ways, but to do things that young people could never do before. It's not just putting things into their heads. You heard from Sky, most of that stuff is either stressful or you forget it, or both. It's about bringing out what all these people have as possibilities so that they can realize their dreams and fix our problems and help other people. And the ultimate goal is to make our country, and ultimately the whole world, but not everybody's going to get there at the same speed, the place where employers and other people come to find the people who can accomplish, to find the people who can get things done. You have this enormous opportunity to help your students do things that they could never do before. We are so glad to be with you. We're so proud of you. We hope you will all choose to sail on the SS Future. We salute you.